Kawartha Lakes Police looking for over 6% budget increase in 2022. Dan Kearns, Local Journalism Initiative reporter for The Standard, Kawartha Lakes. The Kawartha Lakes Police Service is looking for a funding increase of 6.4% in the City of Kawartha Lakes' 2022 budget. At a special council meeting on Tuesday, October 26th, Kawartha Lakes councillors heard from external agencies regarding their requests from the city in the upcoming budget deliberations. External agencies are those agencies which are not directly governed by the City of Kawartha Lakes. However, the city funds a portion of their budget, a report from Treasurer Carolyn Daines explained. Part of the proposed police funding increase would go towards adding 2 officers to work at the Central East Correctional Centre. As you are well aware, we lost funding from the provincial government on this, but the demand for service is still there, Police Board Chair Don Thomas told members of council. What was previously paid, 100% by the province, we receive no funding for now. The proposed increase also includes $145,700 in building maintenance, an addition of 2 new uniform officers for their community response unit, and adding new part-time communications staff members. Chief Mark Mitchell acknowledged this increase is a big ask, but stressed this is not a decision they took lightly and not a number they arrived at arbitrarily.
Lindsay Legion keeping Remembrance Day event the same as last year. Dan Kearns, Local Journalism Initiative reporter for The Standard. Kawartha Lakes. Lindsay's Royal Canadian Legion Branch 67 plans for Remembrance Day are the same as they were in 2020. There's no parade. It's just going to be the march off of our color party, and it will be the same as what we did last year, where we lay the wreaths ahead of time. We do the service with the reading of the names, and then we come back. Sir Sam Hughes, Branch 67 Secretary-Treasurer Kim Junkin told The Standard. While the local Legion branch is looking to avoid having large gatherings at the event, they are not going to tell people whether they should or shouldn't attend. We're not saying yes or no. They, the COVID restrictions, say they don't want large gatherings, but that's out of our control, Ms. Junkin explained. She added the branch is hopeful they will see positive poppy sale numbers this year.
Mojacs struggle to score, lose 2 weekend games. Dan Kearns, The Standard, Scugog. Finding offense was once again a problem for the Port Perry Mojacs over the weekend, as they lost a couple of games. The Mojacs opened their weekend action on Friday, October 29th, in Uxbridge against their rival Bruins. A little over 4.5 minutes into the first period, the Bruins found the back of the net, putting Port Perry behind 1-0. By the midway point of the second period, the Bruins had extended Port Perry's deficit 4-0. Then, 12.5 minutes in, the Bruins scored again, making it a 5-0 game. The Mojacs would finally get on board late in the period. Justin Jacobs scored with a little less than 3.5 minutes to go in the period, cutting the deficit 5-1. 2.5 minutes later, Jake Weatherall scored his second goal of the season, making it a 5-2 game. But despite outshooting the Bruins in the third period, the Mojacs couldn't find any more goals and lost the game 5-2. The Mojacs look for redemption on Sunday, October 31st, in a game against the Lakefield Chiefs at Scugog Arena. However, Port Perry found itself behind again at the end of the first period. Lakefield scored 2 power play goals to put the Mojacs behind 2-0. After a scoreless second period, the Chiefs found the back of the net again just 54 seconds into the third period. With 4.5 minutes to go in the frame, the Mojacs pulled their goaltender to get an extra attacker on the ice. But the strategy didn't work, and the Chiefs would score an empty net goal. The Chiefs defeated the Mojacs by a score of 4-0. After the game, Mojacs head coach Kyle Adams told The Standard he is still concerned about the team's lack of scoring. I think the concern we have to try to fix is scoring goals. That's been our problem. We haven't been able to score goals. And if we get behind in a game, it's tough to catch back up. One-timers. Just one game on the weekend schedule for the Mojacs. They host the Uxbridge Bruins at Scugog Arena this Sunday, November 7th at 2:25 p.m.
You are an everyday hero. Tina Y. Gerber, special to The Standard. In this world of speed and constant acceleration, I needed to take a break after my mother's death. The challenge of living in this fast-paced society can wreak havoc on your life and soul. Like me, perhaps your to-do list is bigger than you have time for in your day. We constantly hurry our meals, get ready for work, hasten the kids out the door, shop, complete errands, visit, and hurry to bed. Why? So we may start all over again the next day. Since Mother's death and my retirement, I've slowed down considerably. I needed to get away from my phone, computer, Facebook, and social media entirely. My hobbies and reading habits, except scripture, had come to a halt. I'd been silently sleeping away my days, hoping to avoid the pain and suffering. I realized I needed to seek a new direction, a direction where my soul would flourish and thrive. Sometimes, we need a deeper look at our own spiritual growth and how we can nourish our souls. Most times, when we come to know ourselves, we have learned what kind of pace and approach is most conducive to nurturing and feeding our soul. A slower pace allows us to catch our breath and find spiritual balance and the joy we need. Many ask, can I bear the weight of sorrow in a world of sin and brokenness? I answer, absolutely. I've found joy in my sorrow. This joy keeps sorrow from crushing me and destroying me. Nourishing your soul is vitally important to the health and balance of your life. When you take time to nurture your spiritual well-being, you create even more movement for positive things to flow. They say you can give more easily to others when your cup is full. But the more I hide from my challenges and fears, the more I allow them to grow. Facing my fears is a small act of courage, nothing more, but that's easier said than done. What we need is the ability to stand against the world. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 5 to 6 clarifies, "It is not that we think we are sufficient to do anything on our own. Our sufficiency comes from God. God is the hero, and He wants us to acknowledge His supremacy by approaching our life challenges on His terms." This scripture and a message from a reader who follows my column gave me hope in my struggles. It's the idea an everyday hero is within every single person, whether they are big or small. Real-life heroes live out simple acts of kindness, courage, and love. They make others feel good and benefit society in small ways. Those small benefits can eventually turn into a huge benefit when we consider the ripple effect. And to you, the person reading this, remember, you can mindfully, willingly, and joyfully choose random acts of kindness. Thank you to all who do. To make the world a better and brighter place, you can step out in small acts of courage and love to be an everyday hero.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.